Booktalk. How are you guys doing today? Yes, you guys are seeing all these books, and these are for a specific reason. So I really wanted to show you guys what are the 24 books that I really want to read in 2024. But before we get to today's video, hi, hello, my name is Esme. I go by Esme IRL, but you guys can call me Esme. You guys are the besties. I'm like your book sponsor, introducer, I want to say, hopefully, question mark. Yeah, so all of these are the 24 books I want to read in 2024. However, a few of them I have put together since they're like a series, so I'm counting them as like one whole book, I want to say. So it's like, if you guys see like 7 books and like I count it as one book, it's because, you know, it's the whole series, like they interconnect to each other. But yeah, let me not stall and I will get you guys into the video. So I have them split up already, so I'm gonna do all the romance first just because it is a smaller stack, and then we have all our fantasy. I really want to start reading mystery / thrillers. Like I really want to branch out. Like last year's goal was to branch out into fantasy, and as you guys can tell, I have branched out into fantasy, all right? So I want to dip my toes into thriller. So leave me down below any, you know, recommendations you guys have for thriller books. So the first series that I really want to read is they're interconnected standalones. Like you can read them by themselves, but I count them as one just because it's by the author and they like kind of interconnect, I want to say, but like not interconnect at the same time. But it is Hooked, Scared, and Crossed. So I really want to read all these books. It's basically about Disney villains and how the main character doesn't fall in love with the hero or the king. They fall in love with the villain, which honestly, not gonna lie, heroes will this is how I think about it, right? Heroes will give you up to save the city, but the villain will give up the city to save you. Which honestly, who doesn't want that? Like honestly, yeah, it may feel bad like you're destroying a whole city, but for me, like IRL, the frick, no. But in books, oh my god, ooh la la. But yeah, I really want to read Hooked and all of them. Keeping up with the dark romance theme-ish a little bit, I have Butcher and Blackbird. I don't know if you guys have seen that or seen this rolling around through TikTok, but it's really an interesting book that I really want to read. It's apparently about these 2 serial killers who once every year they get together and like they kind of like host like a competition, like, hey, how many can you kill? I can kill this many. Are you gonna keep up? I don't think so. So it's basically like they're just competing against each other. But it's like serial killer and love. I'm like, again, IRL. In the books though, chef's kiss. So the next one I have is part of the Brutal Birthright series, but more specifically, I want to read the whole series, right? But I don't have the whole series, so I'm just like, I want to read the Brutal Birthright series. So this is book 2. I believe there's 6 books in total, but this is book 2. This is Stolen Heir, which follows around the Griffin's youngest daughter, who goes by the name of Nessa, who is apparently like the little doe-eyed out of like the whole mafia. That's what I call them, the mafia group. Yeah, this is about her stories, but I really want to read the Brutal Birthright series. I'm excited. I really love how this looks. Like you couldn't even tell this is about mafias, right? Like it's so, I don't know, I like the pretty, plus it has like a matte finish too, which I totally love. The third book I want to read is the third book?
Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3.
Number 4, I have These Violent Delights. I really want to read this. Apparently it's 1920s in Shanghai, but it's also Romeo and Juliet with 2 different groups competing against each other. And apparently there's a lot of betrayal in here, and honestly, I'm kind of excited. Plus, look at the picture it comes with. I don't know if you guys can see it, but look at the picture it comes with. It's so pretty. I love it when books include pictures of their characters, because it's kind of like you're helping me visualize kind of like how your character looks. Because like a way that I basically go to like find how like the characters look, I go on Pinterest, not gonna lie. And when I look up the character's name, that's how I was able to figure out what Ryzen looks like from A Court of Mist and Fury. But yeah, I really like it when they like include their pictures already in the book. So the next series is actually together. I'm still missing one book though, but it's the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I think it was late in 2023. I read Done and Dusted. And honestly, I really liked it, and it was also about cowboy romance. So I'm super excited to start into this journey. I know you guys can tell, I kind of started this collecting this book series a little bit late because they didn't have the beautiful cover for Flawless. So yeah, she might stand out a little bit, but it's fine. Like they're kind of similar in length, but I really want to read the Chestnut Spring series. Like I don't know, something about cowboys and romance is just, it's crazy. Like it keeps me on my toes. The next book that I want to read is The 7-Year Slip. I've heard so many great things about The 7-Year Slip. Like, it's about like these two characters. One goes by the name of Clementine. The guy, I don't know his specific name, but Clementine lives 7 years in the future and the guy lives 7 years in the past. However, the way that they're able to talk is Clementine's apartment used to belong to her aunt, and her aunt was always talking about like, hey, you know, my apartment's kind of magical. You would never expect it. She's like, you're lying. Like, psh, no, you don't really mean that. Like, psh, you're lying. But yeah, I heard that this is a sad book, which is why I haven't started this book yet. But I really want to read this book, so this is on my list to read. The next book that I have is this book is so pretty. Like, is this not one of the prettier books that you have seen? It's The Blood That Binds Us. It is the first book of S.L. Coley, and it's about these vampires. So it basically follows around Kimberly Burns, who is a self-sufficient 19-year-old, and then it follows Aaron Calum, who's the vampire. But apparently Kimberly gets bitten twice. The first time, I believe it's by Aaron, and the second time they're trying to figure out who is it that bit her the second time, because no one really knows. But yeah, honestly, I got this book because it was pretty, and I got an Instagram reel for it, like that apparently, like, oh, vampire girl. And I'm just like, yo, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm in my Twilight phase. I was in my Twilight phase when I was buying these books. I'm still in my Twilight phase.
The skin of a killer.
I don't care what anyone says. Twilight is love, Twilight is life. So the next book series that I really want to read is both of the books in the Dreamlight Billionaire series. So I finished the first book. I have the second book, Terms and Conditions. And the third book I have not bought yet, but it is on my list. But I really want to read Terms and Conditions. Apparently it follows around Declan, I believe that's his name, which is the oldest, I believe, in the three brothers. Basically, he has to, I believe, marry to be able to get his inheritance. Is that true? Right, so he's destined to become the next CEO. However, when their grandparent dies, he installs a clause for each family member. Basically, Declan has to get married. I believe Rowan has to fix something up with their like little, kind of like based off of Disneyland. And I don't know the last person. I don't know his story yet, but I will find out soon when I get the book. Yeah, I'm so excited to read this book because I want to read Love Redesign. And I heard that it's like its own series, but that the characters do pop in this book. So I want to read this series first before I get into this book, just in case there is spoilers. You know, I'm preparing for the worst. In case there is spoilers, I will have already known the spoilers to reading this. Plus, this is such a pretty book. I originally saw this at Barnes & Noble's, and I didn't even realize it was a new book. I was like, ooh, that's a pretty cover. And then I saw Lauren Asher, and I was like, I love her books. I'm gonna pick this up. And then by the time I got home, I figured out that it was like a new release, which honestly I haven't taken off the sticker because I'm so scared that the little residue's gonna stay there. Because I swear, there's sometimes where the stickers, they peel off super easy, and then there's other times the sticker just doesn't want to come off at all. But yeah, that is basically it of my like pure romance section. And so moving on to fantasy, which I believe is book
12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, never mind.
Moving on to my 10th book that I want to read in this year, I really want to read the Narnia series. So I have watched Narnia since I was younger, but I never realized that it was books, which I probably should have put 2 and 2 together. Like, oh, most movies are based off of books. So I got the Narnia box set because I saw it online at Barnes & Noble's. It's like, hey, you enjoyed so-and-so, you might enjoy this. And I don't remember what I was reading. I think I was looking up the Hunger Games book, the new one. And then it gave me Narnia, which I don't know how those two correlate. But I bought the Narnia box set, and I'm super excited. I feel like these are going to be novellas just by how small they are, unless the writing is super small. But if you have read the Narnia books, let me know down below. Was the writing super small? Because as you guys can tell, I haven't opened this box set. I don't know why. I'm paranoid of book mold. And so like, I'm really scared all my books are just going to get book like mold. So I realized I need to start cleaning them out more often. But since this book is technically still, you know, closed, I don't need to clean it out yet. Yeah, I'm so excited to read the Narnia. My favorite character in this whole it's between two. So it's between Prince Caspian and it's between the oldest. Oh my god, what's his name? Peter. I think it's Peter. But yeah, those two are my favorite characters from Narnia. But yeah, Narnia counts as book number 11, 10, one of the two. But it's like a whole series set. So the next book series that I really want to read is, I need to get this one, is the Hunger Games series, which is also another series that I have seen the movie, right? I haven't seen the new movie, but I've seen the movies, but I've never actually read the books. And honestly, I've had the Hunger Games for a good while now. Like, I bought them in like, I think 2019, like when I had graduated high school. This was like when I was still in my book phase, before I like left it for a little while. I was like, I'm gonna read the Hunger Games. And I bought these at Goodwill. I think it was only like $5, but I bought these at Goodwill, and I was like, I'm gonna read the Hunger Games before I watch the movies. And then I never read the Hunger Games, and then I watched the movies, and I'm like, oh my god, the Hunger Games are super interesting. And it's not until last year that I realized, oh my god, I still have the Hunger Games book. And I didn't even realize because I had my books at the time hidden in my cupboard that I normally never open. But then I opened my cupboard and I was going through like a kind of like a book unhaul, and I saw that I had the Hunger Games books. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't need to buy the books anymore because I have them right here. And honestly, they're still kind of like in great condition for not being open in a few years. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna put this back in? I probably shouldn't have taken them out. Now I can't put it back in. Hold on. And then what got me more into like I want to read the Hunger Games is because of the new movie. But I haven't watched the new movie. I did hear it was really good though, so I do have the 4th book. But my thing is, do I read the 4th book first and then the Hunger Games, like this series, or do I read this series first and then the prequel? If you guys have read, like if you guys know what kind of the order is, please let me know down below. I will greatly appreciate it. I really want to know. Do I read the prequel first or do I read this first? But yeah, the next book that I have is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I mostly bought this book because my friend Catliente has the book, and then I saw a bunch of Booktalk people that like, hey, I enjoyed this book, I might reread it. So I was like, you know what, I want to read it. But I bought this book during the hardback sale, and apparently they had like a special edition cover of it, and then look, it's white and gold, and look at the little pages. They're gold encrusted on the side. I'm like, they're so pretty. Like, oh my god, this is one of the more prettier books that I have. Like, all of these books are pretty in my heart, but she's pretty on the outside. It's like, I really want to read it. Plus, it comes with like, it's kind of like own like little bookmark technically. It's like the little ribbon, like where you can put it into a page like here. I really love when books have this. It's like the ribbon, kind of like a built-in bookmark. The next book that I have is One Dark Window, which is apparently a lot of people's favorites. I don't know why. I just keep putting off, like for some reason, I keep putting the book back and back and back. Like, it's been on my TBR for 2 months now. And so I really want to read it. I'll probably read it this month if I have time. Or I'll read it, yeah, I'm probably gonna read it. Cause like, I read chapter 1 and it was interesting, right? But this was during Christmas. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I kind of don't want to read this. Like, I'm in a Christmassy mood. So I put the book down and I didn't pick it back up. But I really want to finish this specific book before 2024 ends. So like, I'm so excited. If you guys have read this book also, let me know down below. I really love reading your guys' opinions on books, like as long as it doesn't contain any spoilers. But I really love reading your guys' opinions on books. So the next book I have is Three Dark Crowns. So it's basically 3 sisters competing for the crown, and they are all equal heirs. They all have an equal chance to earn the crown, the magic that comes with it, but each one has like a different element. So there's Mirabella, who is an elemental, Catherine, who is a poisoner, and Arciona is a naturalist. So basically all 3 have the capability of becoming the queen crown, and it's not only their birthright, they all have to like basically fight for it. But yeah, I'm so excited. Plus, what sold me is like the little cover with the little rhinestone crayons. I didn't even know this book existed. I just saw it in the YA section. I was like, huh, this book is actually kind of interesting. And apparently, look at the map. Is the map not pretty? I love it when fantasy books come with a map. Like, it's easier to like figure out the world like that. The next book I want to read is Nightbane, which is the sequel to Lightlark, which I finished actually. I finished earlier in this month. Today is January the 10th, I believe. So it's like I finished it, I believe, on January 2nd. Oh my god, that book put me in such a little roller coaster. So I really want to read Nightbane. I'm probably gonna read Nightbane before this next series, or like this series. I think you guys can kind of see it peeking out here in the corner. But I want to read this book before I start that one, just because this one's gonna be faster to read than the other ones, just because they're thicker in size. But yeah, I really want to read Nightbane because honestly, I love their story. I love some of the main characters' names. I don't know if it's spoilers, so I'm not gonna mention their names. But yeah. The next book I want to read is apparently called The Witch and the Vampire, which honestly I really love, because I love it when like the hardback books have like a little bit of like kind of like a detail, because sometimes look at the binding. Oh yeah, it's basically about like these 2 childhood friends. One of them's a witch, and then one of them, I believe, becomes a vampire. And so the girl Ava becomes a vampire. Kay is a vampire hunter, who is actually, I believe, one of them's a witch. I'm so confused. Oh yeah, Ava's a vampire. Ava's a witch, and then she becomes a vampire as well. She becomes a witch and a vampire. And then the guy, who apparently is like kind of like her childhood friend to enemy, is a vampire hunter. So he's basically hunting her, but then he realizes, I can't kill my friend. Yeah, I'm so excited to read this. Plus, the cover is so pretty. Look at that. I'm not gonna lie, if your book has a pretty cover, sold. Like, if pretty cover plus great summary. That's how I have so many of these books. The next book that I bought is, or the next in my list for 24 books to read is Kingdom of the Wicked, which honestly I heard from a lot of people that they like Kingdom of the Wicked. What sold me was this specific line. So I understood why some thought kissing one of the wicked is addictive. Each time his tongue touched mine, it felt as if the ground beneath me quaked, like we were a catalytic event that shouldn't happen. I want someone to talk to me like that. Like, imagine like I'm like your like forbidden romance. Like, told me like, take me now, buddy. Like the little Debbie Ryan. But yeah, this is also, look at, I love the sheen that comes in books. So yeah, I really want to read this. Apparently, I've been getting into a lot of like fantasy YA, like, I don't know. I feel like I can't read YA books that are set in high school specifically, but I do love like YA. Like if I'm like not in like an adult fantasy / smut mood, I'll pick up one of these books like to cleanse my palate. Cause like having back to back, you know, smut is a little bit too much as well. The next series I have are together. So I originally bought this book first. I bought House of Root and Ruin because it was like a pretty edge right here, but it didn't say that it was the second book to a series, which is apparently the second book to this one, House of Salt and Sorrows. I didn't know that, so I found out on TikTok that, hey, this book is a sequel to this book. So then I bought this during the hardback sale, which they didn't have this in paperback. I asked. They're like, no, sorry, we don't have that anymore. So I bought the paperback just so I could read this book, because honestly, this book I would keep just because it's straight edges. Like this book and I believe it's Dance of Thieves are my two most prettier books out of all of you guys. Sorry guys, sorry my books, but yeah, I really want to read this book, so I'm gonna read these. I really want to read this series before 2024 ends, just because it's about like this group of girls or like sisters who they live in this manor, but their sisters' deaths were no accident and they happened like more recently. So it's kind of like, it's like a whole book or like a whole sisters, and then one by one it's just like they're dying, like bye, boom, bop, boop. Like they're just randomly dying for no reason. I'm so scared this is gonna fall. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. I don't know if you guys can see my little tower here, but I really don't want it to fall. So I have the Shatter Me series. I only have book 1 right now. The other books are coming in, or like I bought like a box set, and then I'm gonna give this book to my best friend because she really wants to read the Shatter Me series. So I really want to read the Shatter Me series because I've heard such great things about the series. So apparently it follows around Juliet, whose touch is fatal, but there's like this reestablishment that follows around, and I heard like the novellas are really good as well. So it's like there's 9 books in the series, 5 or 6 if you don't count the novellas. So like I really want to read Shatter Me. I've had this book since September, and I don't know why I haven't read it, but this was during my peak. Like I'm really not in the mood to read fantasy. Like at that point I had only read, I don't remember which fantasy. I think I only read Once Upon a Broken Heart. So it's like I wasn't in the mood to read any fantasy that didn't have like a lot of romance in it, like kind of like Once Upon a Broken Heart did. So yeah, I really want to finish Shatter Me before 2024 comes, or like before 2024 ends. So it's like I still have 11 months to, you know, work for all these books. But yeah, the Shatter Me series as a whole, I really want to read it. Okay, good, it didn't fall. So this book is brand new, like it just came out 2 days into 2024, but it's called The Fragile Enchantment. So hear me out. What sold me on this specific book is that this girl just shows up to this guy's, like, oh, he's gonna get married to like some girl, and then she's there, I believe. I don't remember specifically why she's here, but I think she's just here to attend his wedding. And then like this kind of like news anchor writes about how they have more chemistry together than he does with his own wife. And it's like they kind of have to like, oh my god, like, ooh, I need to step away from you, like I don't want to ruin your wedding. And then he's like, oh, I don't know what to do, kind of like her, but I also want to like my wife. Or it's like basically right here, when Nima and Kit, which is their names, grow closer, an unlikely friendship blossoms into something more, until an anonymous gossip columnist starts buzzing about their chemistry, prompting to leave them alone only if Nima helps to uncover the royal secret. So basically he's not gonna, you know, spill any more tea on these two if she helps the reporter basically try and find his specific secret. But that's what sold me. Plus look at the cover, it's so pretty. And then I love the inside, how it looks. Is there a back to this? Like I just love the decoration on this. Apparently it said it came with pictures, but I just think I was being lied to. It didn't show up at all. But yeah, this is such a pretty book cover. I'm scared. Please don't fall. Our Leaning Tower of Book Pisa hasn't fallen yet. So the next series, or 4th to 24th, so book set number 20 that I really want to finish before 2024 ends is Caraval, Legendary, and Finale, which I don't have Finale, so probably when I finish Legendary, I'll probably buy Finale. But if you guys don't know, apparently you're supposed to read Caraval before you read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I did not know that, so I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I still have the last book I need to finish, which is book number 21 or 22. Oh no, this is book 21, so this is book 22. But yeah, so Book set number 21 is the Caraval trilogy, and then book number 24 is The Curse of True Love, which if you guys don't know, it's the last book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I want to read this before I start this, just because like I'm already about to finish, like I'm close to finishing this book, and by close I mean I'm on chapter 11. So yeah, I want to read this book before I read this series, just because I heard that this book series is really good, and so like I don't know, I get a lot of FOMO, so it's like I really want to read books just to like see, did I miss anything? Like, was there something I probably should have read first in this book before I started Once Upon a Broken Heart? Because it's kind of like you start, like, let's say, how can I say this? It's kind of like if you're starting Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets before you read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's like you're gonna be missing a few little precious details. My second to last book that I have is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have heard such great things about this book, and I really want to read it. Apparently, it's kind of like the Hunger Games mixed with enemies to lovers / high stakes fantasy. So if you guys don't know, it follows around this girl called Peyton, who is an ordinary / survivor. And then she has to team up with this guy named Kai, who is an elite. And so apparently the ordinary aren't needed, or like they're not really wanted in this realm. And Kai is basically sent to, I think, execute the ordinary. But yeah, I heard there was a lot of great little snuff scenes. Even the author herself, I get her like little TikToks on my, or I get her TikToks on my For You page. And I'm like, you're driving a hard bargain. Like, I really want to read your book more and more now. So it's like, there's a lot of books on this list that I really want to read before the year ends. This is like one of my top 2 that I really want to, like, I need to finish this before, actually, I need to finish this before July, or June or July, one of the two comes out, because her sequel book comes out. And like, you know, I don't want to feel left out. Now let's see if this doesn't topple over our tower. It's holding on by a thread, chat. Vlog. Oh my god, it fell. Never mind. I take it back. I take it back. Powerless was just too powerful. Powerless was too powerful that it tumbled. It tumbled my little tower. Ruh-roh. Oh no. Okay. We'll leave it like that. And then my last set, or like my last books that I want to read in 2024. More specifically, I want to finish in 2024. It's the ACOTAR series. Like, I really want to finish the ACOTAR series. So I read A Court of Thorns and Roses in December, and I just finished A Court of Mist and Fury, I believe on the 4th or the 5th of December. Oh my god, I love ACOTAR so much. I love Raizen. I'm sorry guys, I'm a Tamerlane hater. I don't care. Like, I used to be in the first book, and then I read the second book, and nah, I'm sorry, I can't deal with you anymore. Yeah, I really want to finish A Court of Thorns and Roses, because I do want to read a Throne of Glass. But it's not like, you know, like, it's not top at my list for Throne of Glass. Like, I may include it into this list, but these are the books that I really want to finish reading. Like, break my heart and put me back together, and then break it again. Like, I don't care. Just like, I want to know what it feels like to be hurt by you guys. But yeah, those are all the books I want to read. The 24 books I want to read in 2024. If you guys have ever read any of these books, let me know down below. What are your guys' opinions? What are some books that you guys want to read for 2024 that I haven't mentioned? If you guys like have any favorites, and yeah, let me know down below if you guys enjoyed this video or not. I hope you guys did though. But yeah, if you guys like and subscribe, it'll greatly help me out so much. And I'll see you guys again next week for another video. Bye, besties.
You'll find the beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her.